Hello, my name is Suckit, and we are playing Fear Not the Night. And last time, we did a whole bunch of work on the sort of outer facade of MegaMall, and I'm not sure how much of this I showed. I did sort of finish the outside of it. We're still working on the inside. This is gonna be one of the anchor stores. It's gonna contain mostly magic stuff. But we've got these great straight thin steel poles from Engineer's Decor. Some stuff from the Architect's Cutter. But mostly it's white concrete and black terracotta. Now, black terracotta is not a pure black, it's more of an extremely dark brown. It makes a very good shadow though, next to white concrete. The inside's gonna look totally different. We're gonna have little display windows here with probably one ridiculous kind of scene or another. And then the interior will be a little smaller. And then, there will be a second floor up here and so on. Most of the work we did the last time, and we'll go around front, was on the Home Despot, which I have also largely finished the outside of. We're actually going to be using this in the meantime. Because I'm just going to start putting big chests out here and filling them with stuff that's going to go in one store or another. These are the blackboards from supplementaries. I don't know if I showed them, but they're awesome. This is what I use to measure out the letters out front. There's just a big room with some lights. I haven't figured out how we're going to light it up inside here, but it's got some skylights. I did a lot of work on stairs. We've got pretty much this shape going throughout. Cashew from Productive Trees. All the Productive Trees stuff works in the Architect's Cutter, so that's nice. Okay, someone out there somewhere, but what I was saying is, what I want to start, this one's going to be a little smaller than the other ones, but we want to start the outside of J.C. Piglin here and start bringing the road around. I looked at some pictures of some of the brutalist monstrosities of my youth, and they were just too gray. I saw some modern ones, which I didn't even know was a thing. So we're going to try to replicate one of those and fill it with a Piglin barterer. Now, first we have a bunch of these beige bricks from Domum. I think they're bricks and gravel to make the block. They're going to form the majority of the outside, and we're going to fill these spaces with stairs made out of these same bricks, so there's a little variation. Now with the stairs in the walls, it gives it some nice texture that you can see from a pretty good distance. And then we've just got some red concrete. It's one of those nice big weird modern shopping big box building stripes. And then this was a lift from one of the JCPenney storefronts I looked at. It was this sort of different colored but all neutral tone glass, and then just some like concrete over here. I'm gonna put in a little bit of cyan terracotta slabs, and that'll just give it a little bit of shape. And we have the basic outline of our J.C. Piglin. We're going to want to have a big ridiculous sign out on the front of it and the whole bit. Now for the inside, it's going to look totally different. We're going to have to come up with interior walls here. Now the roof is going to have some circles and some domes. We want to be able to do that. Here's our World Shaper sextant for circles. Now we need an astrolabe for the spheres. And I think we have all this stuff yet. Delightful. Gaia spirits and, no big whoop. The way they work is pretty cool. What you do with it, this is in circle mode, right? You just, maybe you shift right click. Maybe I don't know what... Okay, yeah, here we go. It's changed a little bit. You shift right click and you move. And it will, in this case, I somehow got it into sphere mode with the sextant, so it will give us ghost blocks of a sphere. How did I manage to change that? Okay, circle mode. So we could just hold down, shift right click, and if we're moving in a straight line, it'll give us the radius of the circle. They work out best with odd numbers. So there's that. Now with the Astrolab here, I really don't. Okay, it's like we're gonna read about this because I thought we needed the Astrolab for spheres, but clearly we don't. Oh, so this will place the blocks for you. Okay, okay. That's interesting. Not really what we want. It's okay. We got it. It's fine. But what we should be able to do is where we want a dome, we'll just hold it down here and then just kind of go over to the other side. And you can kind of see how it's thinking about it. Now we could go up and down apparently. The ghost images are like I vastly prefer the okay, we could fly with this. That's fine. Oh, it didn't work. Let's try that again. Alright. Let's see, can we just... Okay, we have to click and hold. So that's fine. But it's not necessarily a shift click and hold. Now if we just come over here... Oh, 12 is a little funky. Maybe we have to go from the middle. All right, we're gonna try from the middle. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot more like what we're looking for. Cool. Now when we're done, I think we shift right click to make it go away. And then we'll want to clean it up a little bit. I'm sure we have a few blocks that don't belong. And then once we're done, we'll replace it with the blocks that we want to use. Yeah, not bad. Now we can trim it up a little bit. Alright, it's pretty cool. Got traders everywhere. Let's see how much roof we can do before the snow flies. I did not finish before the snow flew. Now we do still have a lot of create food recipes to test, but I'm not going to spend all winter baking cookies. I'm going to spend some of the winter baking cookies, but we do want to get into Smokeleaf Industries. And this is where the pack gets silly, folks. These are minor potion effects. Void where prohibited, if you know what I'm saying. I have a few ideas for the hash oil to use it actually as an energy source. We're gonna look at that as we get into this mod because we're probably gonna want to make some changes to it. But where we're gonna have to start is with the seeds. Now we have White Widow to beat the band. I thought we used to be able to find Bubble Kush. Haven't found any. So what we're actually gonna do is we're gonna take our explorer's compass here and see if I can remember what it's called. Search by source. Okay, I'm looking for the structure from Smokeleaf Industries. LMNOP alphabet with second. The dispensary, of course. And there's one scant few thousand blocks away. Oh my goodness, I did not know these were in the pack. Oh yeah, okay, not much, but some skulls. We always need skulls. Okay. Sometimes those have spawn eggs in them. I'll have to keep an eye on that. That's actually pretty cool. I thought that was a part of a mod that's not in this pack, is what I thought, basically. Now what's this? I don't do enough exploring. What is this? This must be from Philip's Ruins. There's a nice mod we have in the pack that adds stuff like this. It has a few unique blocks, and we saw that huge place in the end. It's just really to add a little atmosphere. But there might be some loot in here worth looking for. Not under the andesite, at least. It could be under any of this stuff. I don't know anything about these places, but I do like the mod. It's cool to, it's not like saturated with them. Oh, there's a whole block of gold here. That's fancy. Yeah, the place isn't saturated with them, but you run into them now and again. The little variation changes things up a little bit. Here is the dispensary. Now, there's a couple of ways we could go about this. I believe in here, hey buddy, we'll find some bubble kush. Yeah, there's some bubble kush. And I hate to grab this guy's crop, so we're gonna grab him instead. We got a containment jar. And he's just a villager, but we'll be able to get the seeds eventually from the baggies here. We'll just take our little, what do we got? We got Jehoshaphat. Put that in there. You're coming with me. Now let's say we wanted to. Okay, he's got lemon haze. And he's got some bubble kush, right? So we'll go ahead. Come here, buddy. We're going to get one of each of these. And we'll start here. Now, with this stuff, we can, I guess it's an ounce or something. What we can do is we could get the extract. We could turn it into hash oil. Or we could just make power with it. This pack does have its own power source. It's the extract that we're going to want to use in the seed mutator with some white widow seeds to get the bubble kush seeds. We will need some hash oil. So we're going to need a couple of these machines. The basis of all of them is the hemp core and the machine frame from Thermal. This is obviously not the original recipe. The hemp core, it's not so bad. We just need some white widow weed and some vanilla resources. We could probably... Well, can we? We've got the bud, which we can turn into the seed, but I guess we'll have to process some to actually get this stuff. So now I think there's also a hand grinder in here, which is pretty funny. It works sort of like the Create Sandpaper. But we're going to make the machine. Now some of this we're going to be hooking up to the refined storage system because it's going to be a permanent part of our setup, and some of it's not. We're not going to need the grinder forever. If I was smart, I would have made the grinder does not require the core, and that's good. It's just some, oh yes it does. Okay. So we are going to need the hand grinder. That's fine. It's just iron and white widow bud. And what I think we do is we just put this in our offhand. Now let's see. Oh no, yeah, that worked perfectly. We'll just need a few of these. Okay, so you do. I thought we had to make the hand grinder, and sure enough we do. Now we can use this to find, well, we can do a couple things with it. We can make joints and blunts, which give you nausea. We can make gummies, which are supposed to work. They kind of don't. That's not a surprise to at least some of you, I'm sure. Little industry humor for you there. But we're going to need a machine frame, some iron plate. Alright, let's just make sure there's no advancements we're missing. We'll make the machine block. Put our grinder away. And what else do we need? 4 iron sheets and redstone flux coil. This particular grinder is going to be a permanent fixture. So we're going to want, I think a regular crafter will work. I think there's 9 strains. I'll make another importer. Alright, I guess this is what we're dealing with. Not much for a GUI. But it shouldn't be too bad to make a processing recipe for some White Widow here. And this is the kind of common stuff that we have already. Oh, we do a little bit better than we do with the hand grinder. That's delightful. We're going to need a bunch of that stuff. So let's just get rid of this and we'll go ahead, grind up a stack, and then we'll look at trying to do some extracts. Next thing we're going to need is to be able to melt some of the stuff down into hash oil. We're going to need some fire essence, and we'll make this. I think we have an imbuement chamber set up upstairs. And just throw it in here. Okay, good question. Why is this like this and almost nothing else in the pack is? This isn't really how you would make hash oil. You wouldn't like, this is not what you would do. So that there's gonna have to be some magic involved for this to work. Otherwise it's silly. I'll get the rest of the materials together. Here we go. Now this is gonna be another permanent fixture. But for the time being, we're gonna wanna be piping directly into something that isn't. Another permanent fixture that we're actually going to hook up permanently is the extractor. We'll be using this to get extracts, perhaps unsurprisingly. This will use a manipulation essence, again, largely because I just can't suspend my disbelief entirely that far. So like with Create and other things, we add a little bit of magic to it, not too much, don't want to make it hard. Now finally, and this is going to use a rune and pana, we have our seed mutator. This all together is what is going to allow us to buy strains from our friend over there and reverse engineer seeds from them. We're just going to hook this up and fill this up and just pump this full of hash oil. I'll just throw a stack in there. Should move right along and start to dump in here. Perfect. While that's cooking, we're gonna take 4 bubble kush, or approximately half an ounce. We might get 4 extracts. I don't know. If we do, I'm just gonna pull this out. No, we get 1. We're gonna need 4. Oh, and I'm just gonna do a recipe. Let me take care of that. Now what we can do is take the hash oil and our White Widow and our bubble kush, and we might need something else. I don't think so. Oh, we need power. Let me get a cable. Okay, we got some power in here now. Now it's doing. I thought that was going a little slow. There's our bubble kush seeds. Now we're just gonna plant them right out here, and they'll grow up, and then the whirly sprig will start sending the seeds and the bud down into the lab, and we'll process it into the next variety, which we can buy from the dealer. And that is sort of the cycle of getting all the different strains that the mod adds. Now I'm going to go ahead and do all that. You've seen one, you've seen them all basically, and they'll, takes a little bit of time for the whirly sprig to give us enough. But now, when we do spend a bunch of time baking cookies this winter, we'll really be in the mood to eat them. So we're going to check out the rest of the mod and maybe work on a few things next time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.